You mentioned inside that there are some things, some questions that need to be answered in terms of this roster. What are those questions that you're looking for right now?
Yeah, obviously we have a lot of confidence in Zoe and Zamaria. We need a third guard to step up. I think we also, with the loss of Sanaya Rivers, she was a great defensive player who can maybe step up and guard the other team's best perimeter scorer. And then rebounding, our whole team. Well, and also take care of the ball. We're slinging it around, and we're going to open up with Tennessee, who's going to press probably the whole game. So we got to take care of the ball. We got to rebound and make sure our possessions are up.
How's the gelling process going between the newcomers and the returning players?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. But like I said, when you lose 2 first-round draft picks, as well as Madison Hayes, who's playing in Italy right now, you got a lot of shoes to fill. So we got to have some players step up in a hurry.
Given that, I guess, what has you encouraged or optimistic at this point that you'll be able to fill those shoes?
Yeah, again, we do have 3 starters returning with Zamaria and Zoe, and then Tilda Trigger. So we've got a good nucleus there. We were also able, Maddie Cox, Devin Quigley, some of the veterans there that have been around a year or two. And then I like the players we added, 2 freshmen and 2 portal players that are really talented. So I think we got some talent, but again, they got to mesh and come together, and we got a brutal schedule to open the season. So we're going to have to, like I said, it's going to have to come together in a hurry.
Both Sanaya and Isaiah had such great rookie seasons in the W.
Yeah.
What was that like,
really
seeing them?
Yeah, really proud of them. It's fun watching them. Both their teams kind of struggled a little bit, but I thought those 2 made an impact and did some great things. And it's exciting to watch. I was able to go out and see both of them play in person, but also be able to watch them on TV. And really, like I said, just really proud of what both of them are doing.
Pierre from Vanderbilt, what's caught your eye about her so far?
Yeah, Camille's somebody that really feels the need for us. I think rebounding against Sanaya and Madison Hayes, we're both really good rebounders. So it's going to take a team effort, but we feel like Camille Pierre is somebody that can, she averaged almost a double-double. So we feel like she's somebody that can hopefully help us, inside and on the boards, and she also made a lot of plays on defense. So I think she's going to do a lot of things well for us.
And then Samuels from UConn, what do you see as her strong suits for you guys?
Yeah, Cadence, obviously we recruited her out of high school as well as Camille, both of those out of high school pretty hard, so we were very familiar with them. I think Cadence is somebody that at a guard position can help us on the boards as well. She's long, she's athletic. We played them a couple of years ago at our place. She had an unbelievable game, hit 4 out of 5 threes. So we hope she can provide that 3 and D that everybody's looking for.
Coach, can you talk about the development in Lorena and as well as Tilda as well as those freshmen that came off with?
Yeah, I think Devin, somebody that, she got to play quite a bit. She was one of our first subs off the bench on the perimeter a year ago, and so we're looking for her to take another step. And she's somebody long and athletic and scored all 3 levels. So we like that. Tilda Trigger, she made all freshman team a year ago. She had a great summer with the Swedish national team. Got to play both up on the national team as well as on the under-20 team. So I thought she had a great summer, and she looks a little bit stronger, running the floor a little bit better. So we're expecting a lot out of her. And then Zamaria, she was having a great freshman year. I think she scored about 17 in the first half against Louisville. The very next practice, she dislocated the thumb on her shooting hand, and I think that hindered her all year long from then on. So hopefully we can get her back out there healthy, and she can take another step.
Are you guys going to try to play at a much faster pace too?
Yeah, we play pretty fast with Sanaya and Isaiah and Zoe out there, so hopefully we can maintain that more than anything. And like I said, I'm not sure right now who our third guard is going to be. We need somebody to step up and grab a hold of that.
What are you looking at out of
What's the biggest challenge in bringing in transfer people when you got several returning players? What's the biggest challenge in integrating them into the culture to sustain?
Yeah, I think it's going pretty well. I think it's important that you recruit good people. Our priority was maintaining our roster and holding on to our players, and I think we were fortunate to have 7 of them returning. But then, as you mentioned, I think the portal is where you go if you need to fill a need or two. And we really had a need at the forward position, and we needed some more experience at the guard. So Cadence and Camille kind of filled those roles. So far, great. They're fitting in really well. Again, you put good people in the mix, you're going to have good good chemistry. So hopefully we can keep that.
Obviously, Zoe had a nice year for you last year. You looking for any to take a step even more this year, I guess? Or
Well, sure. You always hope to get better. I mean, I tried to call her sometimes in the summer and in the evening, and she was in the gym, I think, every time I called, so that's a good sign. But also a leadership position, which she may not always embrace being a leader and all that. It's a tough role, kind of a fine line you walk between being a teammate and being a leader. But hopefully Zoe can grasp that.
The interaction between you and Zam about coming off the bench, as a coach, there's some players who thrive in that position, and maybe it's something about their temperament. How do you find that, and then how do you kind of nurture that so that they don't feel like they have to be a starter?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you just stress to them, make sure they understand how important they are to your team. And we had a few years there in a row where I think we had the 6th player of the year, so that's pretty neat as well. But you're not going to win with 5 players. So Zamaria was behind, like I said, 3 pros, last year. So I think this will be a breakout year for her. And we're going to have to find a 3rd guard, but we're also going to have to find a 4th and a 5th guard, that we like to play up tempo, get up down the court. You're going to have some depth there, and you never know when the opportunity is going to come either for you to step in a bigger role.
Coach Moore. Coach Ellis, Primetime Scouting, the Sports Shop with Easton K-Mac. How you doing, sir?
Good to see you.
Coach, one question. What do you do for downtime, relax time? This is a very stressful thing. You've been doing this for years. You've been doing a great job.
Yeah.
Man, what do you do to take a break?
Yeah, I enjoy my time. Number one priority is lunch. Some people run during lunch. I run to lunch. Okay?
Yes,
so I'm going to go to lunch every day for at least an hour and a half. Drink my free tea refills. I might be planning practice, watching film, whatever. But that getting away for an hour and a half or maybe even 2 hours is good. And then I like to play golf when I get an opportunity to. So get outside a little bit, hang out with friends. But probably that's the main things.
How did you, I'm sorry to circle back late in case you were
That's all right.
How did things come about here to add her late?
Yeah, I think first of all, we were fortunate. We had a prior relationship. She was somebody we recruited out of high school, and she was in a unique situation. She wasn't in the portal, so she had to actually apply and get accepted before coaches were even allowed to talk to her. So she had someone helping her do that. But she went through the normal admissions process, and we were fortunate. Like I said, we did have a little bit of a head start having recruited her out of high school, and no visit, no Zoom, just a few phone conversations, and I think she always had an interest in NC State, and seeing 2 of our players drafted in the first round probably didn't hurt, and then the success that the program's had.
But that was a late addition.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you kind of had it. I mean, is it just good fortune that you kind
Yeah.
of had your situation right in terms of you had room for her to come over and everything?
I had messed up the portal so bad, I had money left. So, got kind of lucky. We had 5 or 6 kids in, and just didn't work out for whatever reason. Part of it is, hey, I understand the portal and NIL, but I want them to want to be at NC State. And I understand there might be a little more money here or there, but they got taken care of pretty good, and they wanted to be at NC State.
One thing I'd ask you too about last year, what did you learn going west
What's that?
What did you learn going west about this travel?
Well, we did it 2 years in a row. So, are you talking about in the conference?
play?
Yeah,
just,
in the conference.
Yeah, it was a dry run for everybody, so to speak, last year.
Oh, we actually, it was a great trip for us, other than we got our tails kicked at Cal. But we went out, a little bit earlier than normal. Went out on Tuesday, played Cal on Thursday. Cal just jumped on us. Cal played really well and had more energy than us, and we lost that one. And then we stayed out there, obviously, till we played Stanford on Sunday. We took them to Alcatraz and Golden Gate Bridge and all that. Even though I was sick that we had lost the night before, we still did it. In-N-Out Burger makes everybody feel better, right? So we were able to bounce back and get a really good win against a really good Stanford team. But it wasn't. Now I feel for those two teams because they're doing it 5 or 6 times. For us, one time it was just like going to a tournament or something almost, and good road trip.
In that regard, like the ACC teams that either went all 3 time zones, either east to west or west to east, and this is true of the Big Ten, men's and women's, win percentage is like 31%.
Wow.
I mean, people say, well, the travel's not that big a deal, but nobody was winning games outside USC and UCLA women, who were the only, the outliers.
Right.
If you had it to do over again, would you change your schedule? Would you do anything different logistically? Because it will come up again.
No. Now again, we played them on the same trip, and that's the good thing. Being able to play Cal and Stanford, heck, you can bust, So that was great. And then we went to SMU. I grew up in Dallas. Are you kidding me? I love going there. So no, there's not anything I would do different. I think it was. Again, Cal played great. We didn't, but like I said, I was proud of them. We were able to bounce back and get a win at Stanford, and then a win at SMU to clinch the regular season championship. So, I'm fine with it.
In the other room, you mentioned how when you have people at practice, you bring in hard hats because you want it to be smoother. What about it? I know you can't give out maybe specific drills, but what about it do you want to see hashed out before you start playing?
Well, we got to take better care of the ball, and we're going to open right up with Tennessee, who's going to press you from the tip till the final horn. It doesn't matter if it's a make or a miss. They don't just do it on makes. They're going to double the ball if you get a rebound, and they're going to wreak havoc. So, again, the good thing about playing them in our opening game, we've already been able to work on that a little bit in practice, how you want to handle it and try to handle it. But we also lost, Sinai Rivers and Isaiah James and even Madison, 3 kids that have been in our program. Sinai 3, the other 2 4 years. So you have that experience, and they're equipped to handle that. So our young players, our newcomers, are going to have to, understand how to take care of the ball a little bit better, and hopefully that happens quick.
Your first 6 games are at home, well, not at home, but they are in the state, though.
Yeah, they're not.
So, is that a pro of the first month of the season, at least being able to play in state?
Yeah, it's not the same when you're on the road. Now, again, I hope we have fans. Our fans are really good about even traveling, but when you're playing Tennessee and Greensboro, in fact, we're playing an exhibition game with Maryland in Greensboro before that. Then we're playing Southern Cal in Charlotte. Those aren't the same as playing in Reynolds. Reynolds, last year we were 18-0, so neutral site's a little bit different. And then we do get TCU at home, and then we got to go on the road and play Oklahoma. So we got a tough stretch. So we'll find out in a hurry where we are.
Hey, Coach. For a long time, but North Carolina, Duke, and NC State, there's teams winning league titles, ranking in the top 10.
Yeah.
For a long time, it was Notre Dame was winning every year, Louisville, whatever. But it seems like
wait a second, we won 3 straight
I'm just
ACC
saying,
championships.
when they first came to the league.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
All right, but in the sense of is there something different going on in the Triangle that has been in recent years? I mean, it just feels like, is it just multiple coaches that have had time to build a program back up with programs that have a lot of tradition and success?
I think Carolina and Duke both have big brands. I think that helps. And then they've done a good job building their programs. And of course, Carol Lawson and them won the tournament a year ago, and I think they'll probably be picked to win the league this year. So, both Carolina and Duke, their basketball programs, and then NC State, we've had fortunately had success. I think we're one of only a couple of schools that have finished in the top 10 6 out of the last 7 years. So, you know, it's fun. It's a fun rivalry. You're 30 minutes apart, and I think all three programs right now are thriving.
What's it been like seeing Zoe step up into those leadership?
What's that?
What's it been like seeing Zoe step up into those leadership roles?
Well, it's a work in progress. I don't know that Zoe always embraces that. You know, sometimes she just wants to be a player, right? But she's done a really good job and trying to, because again, we have new players. We got kids from the portal and freshmen. She's done a pretty good job of trying to bring the team together.
Is that something you challenged her with before the season, or is that
I don't
something
know
she
if I'd
kind
say
of
challenge.
Yeah.
It's something we definitely stressed to her that we're going to need. And I think our assistant coaches are doing a good job of reminding her of that, you know, she still needs to be a leader. If nothing else, a leader by example is great, but also be a vocal leader a little bit.
Wes, you know, you're so focused on where the team has to get better, but when you see the confidence that your players have, even though I know you wish you had seniors, but you don't, do you like the fact that they're confident in their abilities and that they're going to get the job done?
Oh yeah, sure, definitely. You know, I think before you can achieve something, you have to believe something. So I think our players believe it. Again, Zoe was on the Final Four team and played a big role, and so the others went to the Sweet 16 a year ago. So I think you got to have confidence, but you also have to stay humble and keep working.
Coach Jen Lewis, 3 Chicks in a Pod, No Stitch Media. So I know you've been talking a little bit about the portal and the new players that have come in, plus the recruits. How are they fitting in with the 7 returning players that you have?
So far, so good. Now, we haven't started Devin out playing time yet. That always is another hurdle you have to handle. But no, I think right now, you know, again, you bring good people in to your program, and then you're going to have good chemistry. And so far, right now, they're getting along great, having a lot of fun. And but it's still, like I said, you start playing games and roles start getting defined. That's another step you have to take, but hopefully it's smooth.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
What's it been like seeing Camille be actually, you know, on the court now and seeing what she can do with
Yeah,
her team?
you know, Camille obviously, you know, averaged like a double-double. So something we really needed. You know, we felt like our forward position, especially with the graduation of Madison, we felt like we really had a need there. So, you know, she's very talented, can score it, can rebound it. Heck, she had a lot of steals too last year. So she's capable of really changing the game, and just need her to, you know, grasp what we're doing, and then also, you know, buy into showing it every day. I mean, it's you can't afford to take a day off in this league.
And you guys' winning percentage is something that's, you know, pretty high since Reynolds has been, you know, redone. You know, what has that been like since the last 10 years of seeing the new Reynolds?
Pretty amazing. Since we redid Reynolds, I think we're 135 and 15. So, you know, 90% win percentage. I think our fans have a whole lot to do with that. And then I think going back to your players being confident, I think they're really confident when they're at home and playing in that atmosphere.
Yeah, and then Debbie Yao told me that you that was the thing you wanted to do when she was here, and you were kind of thinking about that. You know, what was that like for you to kind of see it get done and now see the kind of the success you guys have been able to have, you know, with that as a I don't know if it's a reason, but it helps.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all they did an unbelievable job in the remodel. I don't know how you think of all the details they did, but it turned out really beautiful. And like I said, it's a great home court advantage because the fans are right on top of the action and they play a part. So I wish they'd have made it a couple thousand bigger because we sell out every game, and I'd like to pack a few more in there.
Do you have a favorite moment of playing Reynolds?
What's that?
Do you have a favorite moment of coaching in Reynolds through the years?
You know, again, there's so many. Obviously, last year, College Game Day, beating Notre Dame was a great atmosphere and a great win. But also being able to host and, we beat Tennessee there, and that led to us eventually going to the Final Four. There's a lot of big moments for sure. I think we beat Syracuse there a few years ago to clinch the regular season as well. So some really big moments.
Coach, in the last 5 years, I think you've gone through 12, but if you were to split it in half, the most recent half is kind of a historic run for NC State women's basketball. Can you kind of just describe maybe the first and second half of your coaching tenure so far?
Yeah, you're right. The last 6 years have been really special when you look at what these players have accomplished. But, you know, my first year, the expectations were really low, and we ended up having some kids that were really talented and hungry, and we won 25 games. So that first year was fun, and then we had maybe a couple of years where it was a little tougher, a little bit harder to get the elite players to come. And then after we had a core group come in and win 3 straight ACC tournaments, that made recruiting. Those kids that won 3 straight ACC tournaments weren't highly recruited as they are sometimes now, but they laid the pathway for us to get great players and to be able to take it to another level. So definitely the last 6 years have been amazing.
And then with no seniors, maybe the culture is just really different. Your leader now is a leader by example, but really stepping into her speaking voice, if you will. So maybe what about your program's culture remains the same, or has to change this year with it kind of just being a different locker room?
Yeah, it is different. You know, last year we had 3 seniors that gave us great leadership. Final Four, I think we had 4 seniors, 3 or 4 that played a big part. So you prefer to have those seniors that have been in your program for 4 years and can pass that message along and culture along. But, you know, we're in a situation where Zoe's our veteran, you know, and again, she has been to a Final Four. She has, you know, played on an ACC championship team. But it's a different role for her, and we'll see. You know, I think she's done a good job so far. But hopefully she can continue to, I guess, grow up in a hurry.
Last one for me. Where from Dallas were you from? I graduated from Coppell.
Carrollton.
Okay, word. Yeah, right there.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up on in Irving, Valley Ranch, so Beltline, McArthur.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you're a cowboy.
Mallory and Maddie are both 2 of your older returners. What are you kind of expecting and hoping to see from them this year?
Yeah, I think Mallory's shown great improvement. I'm excited about you know, where she's come in, and I think she's a little more prepared to make an impact. And then Maddie Cox, I thought she played really well in the Sweet 16 game, and I think it's carried over. I see a little bit more confidence in her, and I think, you know, her length, her ability to step out and shoot the 3 as well as get to the boards or defend a post player is something we really need. So I think both of them are going to make a bigger impact.